When you're not able to walk without crutches, man, I need to cherish that a little bit more if I get another opportunity. In the past 2 years, I've had a lot of moments where I didn't even think that I'd ever be able to really play again. My ankle healed and everything healed. I got wiser, stronger, and better for it.
欢迎收看最新的一集的《台篮吃瓜第一品牌》，我是你的主持人 Ryan， 跟我一起在同样的要访问的洋将 Singletary Mike. Welcome to the PLG's newest show.
Pretty cool. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
You know, we're excited to see you back in action, and we need to get straight to the action. This weekend, the Braves played 2 games. You've introduced a new import. What are the vibes like right now in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, I think the vibes are good. You know, we're still trying to figure things out. We're still trying to adjust. We know that there's a long season. We know that there's a lot of games to be played. There's a lot of ups and downs, and we're trying to maneuver those as best as we can, but I think we're headed in the right direction.
You came in mid-season, so not at the beginning. So in a way, you've kind of become the new kid on the block again. So, you know, now that you're here, obviously, tell us how long ago the conversation started with you coming back.
Yeah, I think it started kind of like in December. We kind of just started floating the idea, and then it kind of became a little bit more serious. And so, obviously, I think I had a few more offers here in Taiwan, and it just felt right to come back home and come back to a place that I call home and put on that Braves jersey. So. Tough decision, but also it was kind of an easy decision all at the same time.
The Braves organization, they're also kind of looking to have more guys kind of congeal the locker room together because there's a number of imports in and out, especially after you left.
Yeah.
They went through almost a record number last season. You know, there's still some gelling that we want to see on the court, but do you feel like you're playing a role, and that's why part of the reason why the organization brought you back?
Yeah, I think that's my job. I think that's something that I've always kind of been good at, I think, even my time here before, is just trying to blend the team and make sure that we don't have imports locals, make sure we just have team. And that's a big thing. It translates to the court, obviously, as you can tell sometimes. So for me, it's about how can we get us all to play together? How can we get us all to be on the same page? And how can we get us all to fight for winning a championship, basically? And that's part of my job.
How did it feel easing back into the locker room? I mean, any big changes in the locker room or dynamics?
Yeah. People in different places, you don't remember them in?
Right, that's my spot.
There's a few different spots. There's a few different spots. But I got my same spot back. So I'm good.
Did you flash the rings?
I'm good there. I didn't bring the rings or anything like that. So I want to kind of be the new kid on the block, like you said.
Respectful.
Yeah, the dynamic's always great. You know, I think for me it's like riding a bike. You know, you come in here and it helps to have a lot of the same guys back. You know, to have Jack back is really cool, and obviously me and Josh's relationship, KJ, Beast, obviously. So there's a bond that's already there, and my job is to use the bond that I have with them and to kind of create a new bond with the new imports that we have and kind of bring it all together. So that's my job, and that's something that I'm working to do, and also trying to win games.
I want to hear from you about your new import teammates, because there's a whole different crop from the days of Eor Zaitsev and CJ, right, winning those titles. I mean, there's been a lot of turnover, so, you know, what is your initial impressions and what are your more recent conversations with the guys that are on the squad now?
Yeah, I think we got good guys. I think we got good players, too, who want to win. And that's the ultimate thing, right? When you come to Fubon, you know, yes, you're talented, but this is a winning culture. This is something that we do here, and it's something that we're used to. And when we don't, it's a little bit testy in there. So for us, that's what I can say is about these guys, Archie and Dang, is those guys want to win. They want to do anything it takes to win. So we just got to get more together as a team, and that'll come the more games that we play, the more practices we have. And you don't want to be your best right now. You want to be your best at the end of the season when it's all on the line. So we're trending that way, and I think we'll be there at the end, hopefully.
How did it feel to step back onto the court after your last, your official homestand, return to the court?
A lot of emotions, a lot of weird feelings, I guess, in the way. But also at the same time, it was like I said, it felt like nothing new.
Yeah. Did it help to start at home versus maybe going to a new arena? Right?
Absolutely. I think I got here and I think their first game was on the road against the Pilots, and I was like, I don't think that's probably a tough one to kind of go into. So I knew we had a homestand coming up, so we kind of talked about it, and that's kind of what we decided on, and it made it flow really well, and it felt organic, and it felt really cool to be able to hear my name called out again and run out of that tunnel and be able to put the jersey on, the headband, and make some plays, make some shots in front of the crowd that I love. So.
Well, I think it's important to ask because you made your return coinciding with the man, Mr. 43 years young.
Yes.
Was that intentional too?
Bring up his age.
Did you guys talk about that?
I didn't talk about it. That must have been planned before me. But hey, it worked. It was really cool.
The squad looked great over the 2 weekend games.
It looked great. Anytime you can get that guy back, it elevates your team in such a way just because of the what he brings and the fight that he brings even at 43. And I don't like throwing his age out there because to me he still can get it done. So as you saw tonight. So it's really cool to be able to have that bond with him and to be able to share the court with him is a privilege of mine. I'm definitely honored to be able to do so.
Was that also like a huge contributor to you coming back? Because you did say you got a couple of offers here in Taiwan.
Yeah. I at first, before we kind of had the conversations, that was a thought of mine. I was really going to kind of be disappointed if I wasn't going to be able to kind of see his last year. And obviously, when I got hurt, there was kind of speculation about that being his last year, and I was kind of bummed that I wasn't going to be able to be out there and do that. So this has kind of come full circle, and it's really cool to be able to share it with him and to see all the work he still puts in and try to make this year, his last year, as special as we can.
Last season you played out in Thailand and in Indonesia, but did you still have Taiwan in your mind? Were you always had a thought where it's like, my mission's not complete yet?
It's always Taiwan for me. It's home for me. Obviously, I've spent so much time here. I got 2 kids that were born here, so like, I don't know what else is considered home. So to me, playing in front of these fans, being able to put the jersey on, and it's home. So for me, it was always in the back of my mind. I didn't know if it was ever going to kind of come to fruition, I guess, but luckily, it happened. So I'm excited to be here, and I'm happy to be here.
Even as a veteran, playing overseas. With the resume you had, you seem like you've gained a lot of perspective, not only from the injury, but also the time spent away from the floor. The season you spent on the bench, but cheering the guys on, trying to have a role in that, and then playing overseas in new environments, new markets. Are there any additional reflections on the last just few years of your career? Because so much has happened from being a young buck.
Yeah,
right?
Man. The past 2 years, have been. They've been a lot, but also there's been a lot of good in it. There's a lot of things that I learned about myself, a lot of things I learned about things that I took for granted, things that I just kind of, when you get into the day-to-day, you just kind of just act like, okay, well, that's just what I'm supposed to do. That's just what I do. But then you kind of, when you take a step back and when you don't get to be out there on the floor, or when you're not able to walk without crutches or have to do these things, you're like, man, I need to cherish that a little bit more if I get another opportunity. So it's been a lot of reflection, a lot of self-growth, and it's made me a better person. It's made me a better player. And again, I'm just trying to use everything that I've learned and try to impart that on, some of the guys that we have and some of the teammates. And again, just trying to win games and be happy in the moment when I'm here.
So when you're going through the grind, such as, rehabbing your injury or, trying to beat the Pilots because they're on a freaking 11-game winning streak, what keeps you grounded personally when you're going through those tough times?
Ooh, it keeps me grounded. Obviously, I think my faith keeps me grounded big time. I've had, in the past 2 years, I've had a lot of moments where I didn't even think that I'd ever be able to really play again and play at a level that was even remotely professional. But like you said, like the grind, and like, do you love the grind? Do you love waking up each day? Do you love being out there? Do you love competing? Do you love those little small things, I think? And I just kept showing up. And so when I kept showing up day by day and kind of just working on myself, and, you know, obviously my ankle healed and everything healed, but I got wiser, stronger, and better for it. So, yeah.
So we talked about your role as a connector for the locker room, a communicator for the guys. You know, how do you see yourself as a basketball player in this light? Because you have a lot on your resume. We might get to it as we go along, but your Wikipedia page might do it faster than my.
Please don't.
Fingers are gonna cramp up with all the scrolling.
Yeah, I think for me as a basketball player, I think it's an adjustment for me right now. I think I'm still trying to find my way with the team, I think. Obviously, there's a lot of guys that are the same, but we play a new style too than what I was kind of used to with Coach Rogers. So it's still the same, but it's kind of different. So, and really, it's about like, how can we get our locals to play at an elite level? And how can I help contribute to that? How can I be selfless in sort of my game sometimes to make them feel better about theirs? And so for me, I'm still learning that and still figuring it out, but I think each game I get to get out there, and each game I get to get out there and compete, I start feeling more and more like myself. So it's coming, but I gotta be patient, and I gotta just take the time.
One of my early impressions of Michael Singletary, the player, and also the guy for his teammates, was in Changhua. But it was a shoot-around day, and you were instructing Josh about angles on defense.
Yeah.
And tonight, he hit a three that was, I think, almost more for him than it was even for the squad or even for the fans in the arena. Like, he's gone through ups and downs. He's still a name on the national team, but I think there's been a lot of bit like a side-eye looking, a little like eyebrow raising. Like, can this guy like reach that next step? And I think you being here should give us a little bit more hope again.
Yeah.
What do you feel? What's going on?
I think with Josh, man, like, I mean, you see how talented he is. I think everybody knows how talented he is. I think with him, it's just about continuing he works like so hard. So for me, that's never the issue. Like, he's gonna work, he's always gonna show up. For me, it's just with him, it's about continuing to tap into that confidence that he has and trusting the work that he puts in. I think sometimes he doesn't trust himself necessarily sometimes. And I think that's where he kind of gets in his head a little bit, just like we all do. We all kind of get in our head, and we all kind of get in our feelings on, man, I don't know if I should take this shot. I don't know if I should do this. But when he's confident, like he stepped up tonight and took that shot with no hesitation, that's a big thing for him. And I'm happy that he made it. Obviously, I'm not happy that we lost, but I'm happy for him that he didn't look to pass that ball and got it and stepped in and knocked it down. So, yeah, I have no worries about Josh and who he's going to be. He's going to take the next step, and he'll continue to take the next step just because he works. Braves,
now that you're done with this homestand, will go on the road to Seoul, and you have another game in Utsunomiya. Actually, my favorite memory of your pep talk was in Okinawa. Remember when you guys took that huge loss at first in the championship week, told the guys, like, hey, we're not just playing for ourselves, we're playing on behalf of all of Taiwan basketball. And despite the loss, you guys really showed out in that one.
Yeah.
So what are your initial thoughts about the Braves representing on the international stage?
I mean, that's the hope, right? That's what we play for. That's what we are honored to be able to play in East Asia Super League and be able to not only represent the Fubon fans and the Fubon organization, but to represent Taiwan. For us, it's about going in with the right mindset and knowing that we're playing for something, like I said before, bigger than just the name on our jersey in the front. We're playing for all of Taiwan. We're playing for everybody who is in Taiwan that loves basketball. So we have to kind of make them proud. We have to make our fans proud, and we have to play with that sort of level of pride.
You always talk about how much you love Taiwan and how it's really a home. So if we manifest a little bit, do you see yourself being involved with improving Taiwan basketball? Do you see yourself being involved even once you retire or when you're done with the playing career?
I would love to. I just love life here. So for me, if I can be in basketball in any capacity to kind of help push Taiwan basketball forward, I'd love to be able to do that. And I think I already kind of do that with the team that we have, with the guys that we have on our team. So
what is a kind of like foundational basketball story in your life? Because we've seen you as a pro, but you also had, you know, a collegiate career, and you know, the NILs made everything really shaken up. But I think there's something that somebody who's around basketball said, oh, Singletary was under some good coaches as he grew up. So what are some fundamental stories that made the basketball player you are, you know, 6'6", but playing power forward, guarding centers, making the big shots from the outside, and defending and all that? It must have come from somewhere back in the day.
Honestly, I got to credit a lot of it to my high school coach. My high school coach, you know, we didn't really have big guys. So coming in as a freshman, I was kind of like a point guard, and we didn't have any big guys, so I was kind of still the biggest guy. It's like 6'3", 6'4", but he was like, you're going to have to learn how to play down here in the post, and you're going to have to learn how to guard bigger guys. And I didn't want to do it, but he told me if I wanted to play, that's what I was going to have to do. And so it took me a little while to kind of get over my pride and my ego, but I did, and it made me a better player. I had always had like playing on the outside. I always knew how to do that, but when he really kind of worked with me on playing in the post and being able to guard bigger players and play bigger than I was, really changed my game. And obviously going into college too, it helped me get to where I was in college. And that's the foundation really that I kind of play with here too, is being able to do multiple things. Being able to not just be a scorer or not just a defender or not just a shooter, being able to do anything that your team needs for you to do. And that's what I feel like I'm good at.
I think there's a common misconception for overseas pro ballers coming into Asia basketball where it's easy, I can make a lot of points, but you just said so yourself, you've had to learn to adapt. So what do you think is also another misconception about playing in Asia?
I think a lot of guys, I mean, I watched Trayvon Graham say that a lot of guys come over here and they just think, oh, it's going to be easy. And it's not. It's just not. The basketball is basketball everywhere, but it's different whenever you come to a foreign country when you don't speak the language, when you might not know what your coach is necessarily telling you to do or wants you to do. You might not have that communication, but yet you have to go out there and you got to produce. And producing doesn't mean, hey, if I score 40 points, because if you score 40 points and you still lose, the team is probably still looking for another import. When guys come overseas, I think they need to put winning above everything. If you do that, if you're talented enough, there's a reason you're playing overseas and you're a pro. You're talented. So if you're talented enough and you put winning first, your numbers are going to come, your recognition's going to come, all the awards and everything that some of these guys play for, that the recognition, it'll come. And then new jobs will come because they see that you're a winner. I mean, I know if I was a coach, I want a guy who wins and has pretty good stats rather than a guy that loses and has 45 points a game. That doesn't mean anything to me. So for me, I think that's the biggest thing. It's just come with the mindset of wanting to win first, and then everything else comes secondary.
What season would you say was the most defining season for you in Taiwan? The three in P.LEAGUE.
I'd say for me, the second one. The three-peat was really, really cool. It was really, really hard to do. But it was really, really cool, and I think anytime you do that, that's special. But to me, the second one was really, really cool just because the first one was kind of, a lot of people I feel like were saying, oh, well, they only won because they're they only won. Right, and then you got all these things, oh, COVID shut it down, they would have lost, blah, 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 blah. And so I think that second year we kind of came back with this mindset of like, okay, let's go prove it again. And we did, and so for me that was kind of sweet because we had some really tough challenges, especially in that finals where we had games where Z couldn't play and because he had COVID and different things like that, and so we just had to figure it out. And so to me, that one means a lot.
Okay, well, I think we're kind of running down on things. One thing that I have to ask, I'm thinking that I want to know about, from your perspective, the budding rivalry between the Braves and Pilots. Now they've had the regular season winning record, but the Braves do pose a pretty good challenge. Like, how do you see the Talian Pilots from your perspective as someone who's played against them for 4 seasons?
Yurgi's done just such a great job with them. Like, I can't give him enough credit for just the way that he has them playing and the way that it's kind of taken shape over the years and how they've all just continued to get better and better and better. And obviously the players, they have to work, they have to show up, and they got to do their jobs. But like, Yurgi's kind of put that in motion, and they are a force to be reckoned with for sure. I think right now they're the standard for our league. Obviously, they've won 11 games in a row, right? So that's something that we're chasing. So we're chasing them right now. So how do we get to that level is our main thing. And but credit to those guys. Those guys, they play the right way. They play for each other. They play like a team. And yeah, that's a really great team over there.
What do you think you were like when you first started overseas, and how would you describe what you've become now?
Jeez.
The evolution of Mike Singletary.
I think when I was first overseas, I think I was a little passive.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people might not know this about me, but I'm like a big thinker. So like, to me, I'm always, and this is one of my skills that I feel like I'm good at and why I'm kind of a connector, is I kind of try to read the room and try to read like, okay, what does he do well? What does this guy do well? Okay, what do they do well? And try to figure those things out. And I think my first time overseas, I was kind of too like, here, you take it. You take it. And while that's great in being a team player, that's not what they signed you for. Right? And that's a hard line and a hard balance to kind of find as imports, is how do I be this really good team player, but how do I also bring my talent to the forefront as well? So that was something I really struggled with early on, and my wife had to kind of kick me in the butt to kind of tell me like,
Shake it up.
Figure it out, or let's not play basketball anymore.
Fair. Okay.
And honestly, I was like, man, that's kind of cruel. But also at the same time, it kind of got me in gear.
Yeah.
And so after the first year playing overseas, the second year was a much different thing. And I was able to kind of continue to find that balance. And obviously, I think as I've kind of played, I think I've gotten to a place of finding a good balance in between that. But I'm also still trying to find that here too. So
Still the new kid on the block.
Still the new kid on the block. Still the new kid on the block.
Well, the new kid on the block, I'm going to go this way. One scoring title, 2 finals MVP, and 3-time champion Michael Singletary.
Sounds good.
Having a great time interviewing one of our favorites of all time.
Appreciate you guys.